This is Greg Gilbert, host of Python's Paradise here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And we are on February 7th, 2021. Yes, I'm on Zoom because I'm combating the pandemic. And this has been wonderful doing this way. And I got a returning guest. Um, I think she's quarantining at the Pink Motel. She's a Valley girl. She's a Valley girl quarantining at the Pink Motel. And that's where she's on lockdown. And I think Phyllis Diller and Slim Pickens is making sure that she's getting fed every day.
Yes, the spirits of Phyllis and Slim are feeding me.
There you go. Folks, we know her from Valley Girl. I know her because you got the sparky little smile. Folks, I give you the lovely, the beautiful Heidi Holicker. How do you do, Heidi?
Hello. Well, I do just fine. How do you do?
I heard a rumor.
Okay.
I heard a rumor that during quarantine, in order for you to avoid lockdown and get your exercise, I heard that Cameron Dye shows up and chases you around your car.
Damn, I can't believe that got out. Ugh, those little spies.
Yes.
No, but that would be a lot of fun if Cam did that. So
I'm assuming that Cam did that.
I would say Cameron has not done that.
You're in denial.
I'm in denial. There you go. I'm in deep denial. So if my phone goes off during this, you hear a beep, I gotta run. So because Cam will be here. So
yes, that's right. Yes, he's keeping.
That would be good. That'd be some good exercise though.
Wow. I got Valley Girl on Blu-ray. I love the movie, and it's been branched into a musical. And I know eventually here I'm going to get you to do your Pavarotti voice because I know you sang a big musical number in it, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they cut it out, so we won't be able to actually see or hear that. It did release digitally last May, and it was a huge number, massive, with Jessica Roth, who's a beautiful actress and singer. We did a Pavarotti type thing to the 80s, and fortunately, they cut it. I'm so shocked. But I got over it. It took me a bit, but I got over it. So
Well, you could sing right now.
I could, but I'm saving it for my third album. So
yeah. Well, I'm hoping to book you in Madison Square Gardens and stuff.
Yeah, I'm right there. I will take the Concorde from the 80s to Madison Square Garden and be there in about 28 minutes. So
there you go.
It'll be a bit chilly though, because New York is kind of in a storm at the moment. But
are they?
It's gotten better. I just got off another call with a friend talking about New York, and it's actually gotten better. But they were hit really hard from the storm. Were you hit hard from the storm?
Yeah, not real bad.
Oh, okay.
We're ahead of New York, but no, we've got snow here though.
That sounds so beautiful. I haven't seen snow in so long.
I don't like driving in it.
It has gotten awfully cold here in Los Angeles, though.
Yeah, but cold in Los Angeles and cold here are two different things.
I know, but it's about 60 degrees, and that's a tad bit cold for us.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. 60 degrees is cold for us.
You know how little we see 60 degrees?
Very little, very little.
You know what we consider warm?
What? 30?
Oh, probably even lower.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sitting here with fingerless gloves and a scarf and a down vest because it's just cold here.
Oh my goodness.
I like to be cozy.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else shall we talk about?
Well, I love Jessica Roth. She was in Happy Death Day.
She's so good. She will one day get an Oscar in whatever she ends up doing, because I've seen so much of her work, and she is just as beautiful as she is, as quirky as she is. She's just she just has a lot of dimensions as an actress. She's really quite impressive, and yep, she's good.
Yeah. Well, do you ever, because you can't now with the pandemic, do you ever get to do the convention scenes? Because you with the
Yeah, I've
Valley
done them a
Girl.
few times. We had a lot of fun. It was 2 years ago we did myself and E.G. Daily
Uh-huh.
and my buddy Cameron Dye and my buddy Michael Bowen and my darling, wonderful friend Lee Purcell and I did the Hollywood Collector Show together, and we had a lot of fun. And I've done that show before by myself. And we did when the Blu-ray came out 2 years ago, we did a signing at Amoeba Records,
Uh-huh.
which was a lot of fun. And then when Valley Girl the musical came out last May, myself, E.G. Daily, and Deborah Foreman did live Zoom calls and interviews for multiple press outlets, and also were in the New York Times, and just a whole lot of fun. Just it's just the gift that keeps on giving. So three of us did cameos in the remake, and um, it's just always fun. Valley Girl is in my life every week in some way or another, and it's just like a big hug to me.
Why isn't Michelle Mayrink involved in this anymore?
Michelle is from Canada actually, and
Yeah.
she moved back to Canada. She did obviously a tremendous amount of work. I mean, starting with The Outsiders with Diane Lane, and all of the hot young actors at the time, Ralph Macchio and Rob Lowe and Emilio Estevez and just everybody. And she did Valley Girls. She did Real Genius for Martha Coolidge. She did Joy of Sex that I was in with Lisa Langlois. And she went on and did she had a lovely career, and then she decided to move back to Canada and raise a family. So she, believe, teaches acting in Canada. I don't know what part of Canada, but that's why she's always invited to everything we do.
Mm-hmm.
But she lives in Canada, and it's just not something that works for her schedule.
Yeah, I've had her on here before, and I'm gonna say she's got more. No offense to anybody else from Valley Girl, but she's got more views than anybody.
She's great. She's lovely.
There's
She's a lovely girl, and
there's a lot of people curious about where she is. I'll tell
yeah,
you.
well, she's an acting teacher in
Yeah,
Canada.
I could not get her to do the Revenge of the Nerd laugh though.
Yeah, I remember you said that. I think you said that last time. I
I
think so.
tried to get her to do
She's
it.
she's a pretty serious girl. So, and she was really she was so charming in um why am I just said the title of the name, but the Val Kilmer movie,
Real genius.
Real Genius with Martha's movie. Yeah, she was just adorable in that.
You still in touch with Martha Coolidge?
Yeah, I talk to Martha quite often. I talk to EG quite often and Lee Purcell all the time and the boys on occasion. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. It must be interesting, that movie came out in 1983. I love teen comedies, with the
I
Fast Times at
know.
Ridgemont High, Risky Business, and movies like that. And
And the
especially,
Breakfast Club. Wasn't the Breakfast Club amazing?
yeah, I had um, John Kapelos on from that. He was the janitor.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right. He was
yeah.
very funny.
My favorite for John Hughes was 16 Candles, though.
I liked it like everybody, but I don't know. For me, it was the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I liked St. Elmo's Fire a lot too, but the Breakfast Club, I just thought it was so well defined with those six characters and, one basic location for the entire film, and just watching these characters go from what each person thought the other one was actually like to digging a little deeper and finding out who each person was. I just thought it was incredibly well done, perfectly cast,
Yeah.
just a really, really good film. And
Yeah.
and Pretty in Pink, that was adorable, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we need to talk. I know you're on certain time here. We need to talk about what you're doing now. Well, how are you handling quarantine? How are you handling COVID?
been really fortunate and I've been handling it surprisingly well. I work about 14 hours a day. I work um, all the time, either working for Magnolia Pictures distribution, which is
Mm-hmm.
my my day job in film distribution, and then I'm producing 6 different projects that are all completely different from each other, and they're all in various stages of development. So I'm constantly communicating, even though I'm isolated, I'm communicating with people all the time, a day from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. via phone, via email, a text, and so I have a lot of activity going on. So I don't have. I'm really fortunate that I have so much work, and talk to my family every day, and able to walk around my neighborhood to get out and get exercise. And it's definitely it's emotional. I have the news on every day, certainly in the morning, and I'm highly aware of everything that's going on with the virus. I mean, not everything, certainly. I'm not a doctor, but with the virus and the vaccines and waiting for the vaccine and all of the pain that people have been going through financially, emotionally. It every day I cry a little bit. Every day I laugh a little bit. It's just a range of emotions because this is a very unusual, bizarre. Never have we experienced this before. This type of this type of
Yeah.
pain with our entire world, let alone our society, let alone our individual towns. And I'm always masked. I go out very infrequently, but wearing double masks and just very healthy and fortunate. And I'm grateful every day.
Were you one of the ones hogging the toilet paper?
No, I didn't. I was really good about that. I never hoarded toilet paper or any other things. I do get my groceries delivered, which is kind of great. I started that over the last month and a half because it's just much more convenient. And I'm so busy that taking an hour and a half to 2 hours to go to the market is really is a lot of time. And obviously, you're risking being around a whole lot of people. And some people don't wear their masks, unfortunately. And the folks that run the grocery stores, they're not going to go up and force anyone to do it. So even though you know, it's a very strict, you have to, but that doesn't mean the employees are going to risk themselves to go near someone not wearing a mask and say, hey, you're not wearing your mask. So getting food delivered, groceries delivered is really been kind of wonderful.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I didn't hoard anything. Did you? Did you hoard
You
toilet
know
paper?
what? Strangely enough, other than my well, until Zoom, the only thing it affected me on the pandemic did was doing my show. I still worked. I'm a cleaner.
Hmm.
I work at nights. So when I email you in the middle of the night and you're
Right. I
wondering what
wasn't
I'm
sure why
doing
you were
up,
up so late. Yeah.
well, you know what? I work nights.
Right.
Yep. I
Have you
work
done that for a long time, or this is relatively new?
for quite a few years.
Hmm.
Yep.
And
I, I
that's pretty isolating and solitary, I would think.
actually, when I'm at work, I don't wear a mask because I'm the only one in the buildings.
Right, that's what I mean. I mean,
You know?
you're having the isolation at work,
Yep.
even though you're in a building. So,
Very rarely, unless somebody's got to come in to buffer floors and wax floors,
mhm.
I'll wear a mask then. Like, I'm not against wearing a mask, but when it comes to like if I'm it's just me at work, like I work in several different buildings. So and since my cat is too lazy to get up and work, I got to do it
Yeah,
all.
I have 2 guinea pigs, and they absolutely refuse to get a job. So they live in the lap of luxury. Fresh
Yeah.
veggies every morning, different kind of veggies at night to keep them excited. So it's, yeah, you know what? We got to take care of them, and they're not going to get jobs, our animals. They just are not. And why? And really, it's tough with having paws. It's so difficult. They can't type.
No.
They can't text. And they use that as an excuse, but it's true.
Well, you got your hands dipped in numerous avenues of the entertainment industry, makeup, special effects, writing, producing. Is there a favorite you have?
Producing, absolutely. Yes. Putting all the pieces together, I love doing that. I just have a innate ability. I think it started when I was in probably 10th grade when I would organize parties for friends, and I love logistics and being able to make you do put people together in an order that makes sense and bring creatives together. And I'd have various partnerships in different projects. So it's really exciting to be able to work with two particular writers from the Midwest, and then I work with another writer who have known since 6th grade. We're developing and co-writing a project, and then optioning other material of writers that I don't have a long time friendship with, and getting to know them and their rhythms and working together. It's just been an incredible thrill to be able to acclimate to different areas of learning how different people's rhythms work, and when it comes to a creative process. It's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, I've since co-produced a few films. So, although I've done it from here,
Can you talk about them?
I can. I'm a co-producer on 13 Fanboy, which is directed by Debbie Sue Voorhees out of New Mexico. It's tied in with the Friday the 13th franchise, which is going through a legal situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
So she's doing this movie about a crazed fan going after alumni from the franchise.
Oh,
And
fun.
yeah, she was in the 5th film, and she put it on Indiegogo, and she raised far beyond what she was expecting.
What was she expecting?
Right now, I don't remember, but I know she went far and beyond that. I'm trying to think what that was. I don't remember.
And did you guys already shoot it, or
I
it's
wasn't down there. You see,
okay?
I contributed. I got the Indiegogo perk for co-producer, and it came for all these perks and stuff. And my picture is going to be in the movie in a scene
Mm-hmm.
with an actress I like. And from what I'm being told, I guess it's going to be splattered in blood.
Oh, fun.
Yep. So yeah. So
I've been
I
splattered in goop before when I when I did Firesign Theater's Eat or Beat, and I was splattered with goop. I've been splattered with goop in a few projects actually, but blood, no, not that one yet.
what do you mean goop?
Well, let's see. In Valley Girl, the last scene I'm in, I'm covered in all this green. Cool Whip is thrown at me in the fight scene at the prom scene. In Eat or Be Eaten, which is Firesign Theaters, which was a big comedy troupe back in the 70s and the 80s, and in the late 80s, I did a television special with them called Eat or Be Eaten, and I play a virgin cheerleader who
Uh-huh.
is going to be sacrificed to a plant called the kudzu vine. Because
Okay.
every year, if you haven't seen this show, you can see it on YouTube free. Just type in Fire Sign Theater and then Eat or Be Eaten. And
Okay.
this vine called the kudzu vine in Kudzu County, which of course is completely made up, has to get a virgin sacrificed to it each year, or the town will be covered with the kudzu vine and everyone will die. So I was when the vine actually realized I was not a virgin and spit me out of itself and green goop all over me. So it's a really fun show. I watched it, I don't know, maybe a year ago. I hadn't seen it forever. And I thought, this is really pretty quirky and bizarre. And yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
Any other
So
goopy
anyway,
movies?
any other what?
Any other goopy movies?
I'm trying to think. Have I been had
I,
goop
I,
on
I've got to
me?
look at the plant one. It sounds like
Okay,
Little House of.
eat or be eaten. Fire Sign Theater. And oh, where else did I get gooped? I was never a Nickelodeon getting gooped, so that would have been really kind of a thrill. I would have liked the green slime. Um, I don't know. I'll get back to you if I can think of. I don't.
It
I think
sounds like
my goop days.
Little House of Horrors.
Yeah, I think my goop days are pretty limited, but I was very proud of those goopings. So.
No, but with 13 Fanboy, I chose the co-producer perk, and it got all shot before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So right now they're in editing. They're hoping to release it in August 13th, and so I was happy to get in on that.
Well, home entertainment is, beyond huge, and everybody's streaming and also buying DVD and Blu-ray. And it's really giving so many people a relief from the reality of what's been going on in our country. So, the more content, the better.
I also co-produce on Victim No More for Bobby Heckman, which has not been shot yet because of the pandemic, but I'm in touch with him.
And
Um,
who is that? Tell me who that is.
Bobby Heckman, he works at a regular job like me, but he's got connections in the industry. So Victim No More is another Friday the 13th film. And I signed an NDA, so I'm not allowed to say who's in it, but he's got some names in this. But
And as a co-producer, what are your responsibilities on this project?
I contributed to the film, and I got the
You
co-producer.
you contributed financing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. I find it funny because my sister-in-law is like, "What are you really doing?" I'm like, "I'm here. I selected the perk. I gave the money, and that's as far as my co-producing goes."
Hmm. Well, the logistics of producing is it's so exciting to me. That's the part you're not doing. The location scouting and the casting and the writing and all that stuff. That's all the super fun part. But
Well, I already casted locations. They should be arriving at your place any day now.
yeah, okay, cool.
I said go to
Cool.
Heidi's place.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
you
I
can get.
will. Will they be here at the same time Cameron will be running around, chasing
Well,
me around the car?
they're hoping to.
Okay. Well, that would be good. They'll get an extra scene in anyway.
But and I'm a associate producer on Hearts of Darkness, the making of the final Friday.
Okay.
That's a documentary. Adam Marcus, who directed the ninth film, is involved with, and I'm in touch with him. And I cameo in 9 James Balsamo movies.
Who is that? Why do I? Oh, I know who that is. I know who that is. Okay.
Yeah, you got to get in
He's
one of his movies.
he's a Facebook friend. I know who he is. Yeah. He's
James,
out here, isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
James has been on my show twice.
Yeah, I know who he is.
And he sent me a message one night. I was at work and it was 4 a.m, and I was on my lunch and I get this email from him saying he wants me to film my own death scene for
Oh
one of his
my God.
movies. And I'm not an actor. So
Yeah.
I called him because I knew he'd be up. It would have been midnight where he was. And he said he enjoyed doing my show. So I was like, okay. Well, I knew the kind of movies he made. It didn't matter. Like, he's like the self-aware Tommy Wiseau. He's
Okay.
not, and his movies are really cheap horror movies, but he manages to get a lot of these name people in his movies, like Linnea Quigley and whatnot.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't have to be an actor to do a cameo because it don't matter how bad my performance is.
Mhm.
Um, it will go right in tone with the rest of the movie. So I was able to do that in 9 of his movies, and I just shot it on my phone and sent it to him.
And he's using, is he able to use it?
Oh yeah, he's got me in 9. I've seen 3 of them. One of them, called It Wants Blood, my scene is being watched on a television by Eric Roberts.
Oh, that's funny. That's great.
So I'm in a scene with Eric Roberts, and I never met the guy.
Good for you. I met him at backstage at Saturday Night Live um,
Yeah.
one night when I was in the green room, and yeah, he's such a talent. He really, the Pope of Greenwich Village, and just he's really
Star
talented.
80.
Star 80, he was amazing in that. Are you familiar with the Mad Monster conventions?
Yep.
My friend Eben McGar and Eben and Jen McGar run those, and that's coming up this month. That's coming up in North Carolina, I
Are
believe.
they gonna be able to have it?
Yeah, the 19th, 20th, and the 21st. They are because they are able to do them, and they put up plexiglass to separate the guests from the talent, and they do the photo ops, and yeah, so they're going through that. I was actually able to get Magnolia Pictures to donate the last one, which was in Arizona a few months back, some of our horror films as gifts for the VIP bags. And so little shout out there to Eben and Jen and the crew, um, and their photographer who is Carlos Cordova, who does the celebrity photo ops, and they do a really good job. And Linnea Quigley and all those folks are the ones that when you mentioned those names, that's what triggered it. I was like, oh yeah, and they're all involved in the same project.
I
So
had
yes,
Lene.
they are doing it. They are doing the show in what 2 weeks, I guess.
I met Linnea at Horrorama 2018 and had her on my show on my birthday and the following year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't met her. I don't know her, but
yeah. She's a hoot.
yeah,
They need to get you out to these things so you can sing for us because I know you have a
yeah.
good singing
I
voice.
know. You know, I it's so good. It's so good that only my mother gets to hear it. That's how good it is because I just don't want to share it with the world. You know, it's
You don't sing when Cameron chases you around the car?
no, no, no. I only sing to my mom, and it's beautiful. And let's say that we together we on occasion we hit an actual note, which is really exciting when we do,
Uh-huh.
and that's the extent of my singing. So la di
Oh,
da.
what are you working on now that you can talk about?
Um, I can't talk about the details of any of my projects right now because they're all in different phases of negotiation. But I can say that um, I am so happy to have the ability to create material and to be able to take other people's material and work with them to get it out there and shopped and bought and eventually made into a TV series or a feature film. So I can't talk about the specific details of any of the projects, but you know, as soon as I can, I will come back on and say, "Hey, we're shooting this. Go to
Yeah.
Netflix, watch it, you know, whatever, Hulu, whatever it is." But it keeps me extremely busy in a really good way.
Did you like coming back for a bit part in the Valley Girl musical? Because
It
you haven't
was so fun. Yeah,
because you hadn't done, according to IMDb, you haven't acted in a long time prior to that.
I hadn't, and being on set as an actress again was very quite a surreal experience, and it was a very long day, and all of the folks on set, we had a lot of extras that day. And when they realized, because a lot of the people that were there doing extra work, which, just doing a gig. And then some of the people that were there because they loved the original and they wanted to be a part of the remake. And when they realized what role I had played in the original, it was kind of like the mouths dropped and like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And it was so it was fun. It was just all day, all night fun. And then we shot my scene a few different ways, and we shot it was pretty late at night. And the day had just been fun and easy and lovely. And then when the camera started to turn toward me and it was time for me to do my scene, I realized, oh God, do I know how to do this? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing now. Am I, when do I say my line? It's sort of like I forgot how to do it. And then within about a millisecond, it all came back to me and it was fine. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed working with the director, Rachel Goldenberg, and the producers, Stephen Wolf and Matt Smith. They were lovely. And of course, Jessica Roth is just a brilliant talent, like I said. And I didn't shoot with Debbie or E.G. We shot different scenes on different days. So.
Do you know what their scenes were like?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the musical version because I only watch my Blu-rays here. I don't have television.
Ah, okay, right.
Yeah.
Yes, E.G. played a mom, a really hip mom who was
Okay.
at a Valley party with her, and her two actual daughters were in the scene with her, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Debbie played a shopkeeper that Jessica Roth's Julie character was shopping for her prom. So she was the shopkeeper helping Julie choose her dress for the prom.
So did we get a scene where Lee Purcell arrives home for a surprise?
No, the film's very different than the original. It's extremely different than the original. So you have to look at it as its own film, separate from ours. The story, there's a Romeo and Juliet aspect, of course, but the story is different. Some of the characters are different, and again, it's a musical, as you said, so they go into song and dance throughout the film, which they did beautifully. The choreography was amazing. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to be there.
Wow. Yeah, I've interviewed 4 people from Valley Girl. I've had you, I've had Michelle, I've had Joanne Barron, and I've had
Yep,
Josie Cotton.
yep.
Yep.
Josie, I speak to not on a regular basis, but I last year I went to a local concert she had, which was super fun,
Hmm.
and I also put together, was now 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, we do a Q&A at Quentin Tarantino's theater, the New Beverly, out
Hmm.
here on Melrose in West LA. And I brought 17 of our cast members together to watch the film with an audience and do a Q&A after. And I had Josie Cotton there, I had E.G. Daly, Michael Bowen, Cameron Dye, Martha Coolidge, Andrew Wayne, one of our producers, our um, the two music composers. We had them. I had David Paho from the Plimsolls.
I love
There were
them. Yeah.
17 of us, and it was just a real. It was really it was thrilling for us, and it was extra thrilling for the audience. Because we kept adding people to it, and it was just really fun. I produced the event, and they called and said we want to do this again. We do it. We had been doing it every year, and then we did it with 2 of us, and then we did it with maybe 5 of us, and then I said, hey, let's really go for it this time, and I'm going to get everyone I can get. And within 2 weeks, I got 17 of them to come.
I love the Plimsolls.
Oh my God, so good.
Yeah, they're great. They do. I'm trying to think of the name of the song they do. I think they do a couple in the movie, but there's one that really stands out.
Well, the album that I love is called Everywhere at Once, and there's, of course, A Million Miles Away.
That one, that
Yeah,
one, that one.
yeah,
I love that song.
I do too.
That's a great song, and it's one of the highlights. I love that song by Spark, "The Monster of Love," eaten by the monster
Mm-hmm.
of love. That
Yeah, I
song
love
was
that too.
so comical for that scene.
I know exactly which
Yeah.
song is in each every scene.
Well,
It's really, it was so well done.
I love the fact that how Martha shot that, because you don't know who he comes across upstairs when he shows
No,
up. So
I was surprised because I actually didn't know that's how the scene was going to play. So when I saw the movie for the first time, I was surprised.
but I gotta say, I love that movie, and like I would have been 11 in 1983 when that came out, so it's like
Hmm.
there's a lot of memories there. I never felt that. I love nostalgia, and Rock of Ages and Everybody Wants Some. Both
Yeah,
both have great nostalgic music, and I recommend those both highly. So
I really enjoyed those as well.
Everybody Wants Some. I saw that 9 times in the theater.
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
I
You're a
and
good
I
patron.
Well, you know what? Every night I'd see it. I'd come away, and we only had it for 2 weeks. But what happened? I would go out, and I would be like, well, I've seen it enough, but it would keep at me the next day, and a lot of it was the music, and I was like, I gotta go back.
Did a soundtrack come out from the film?
Yeah, I got it.
So that's a lot easier to be at home and listen to the soundtrack than to
Yeah,
go to
but
the
I
theater
I
9 times.
love the characters and stuff, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, there's movies out there they say are from the 80s or from the 70s and they don't look it. Boogie Nights pulled it off. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas pulled it off for the 70s. Um, Rock of Ages pulled off the 80s, and so did Everybody Wants Some, which was set in the 80s. But there's a lot of times they'll say, like Wonder Woman 84, which I actually enjoyed, I couldn't tell it was an 84.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't tell
Well,
the set.
there is definitely something different that when you're shooting a film that's set in the 80s, when we were actually filming it in the 80s, everything was so authentic to us because that was our actual lives.
Hmm.
And that's, everything was, as I've said before on this show and others, that the clothes that I wore were all my own clothes out of my own closet because that's what we were wearing in 83. And so it was really, we weren't doing the 80s. It was just happened to be the year we were shooting this particular movie.
Yeah.
So it's very
So,
different.
well, Everybody Wants Some. I ended up so far getting 2 interviews from it too, and the father of one of those interview guests went on YouTube, and he was so complimentary of the
Oh, that's
interview I
nice.
did with his daughter. I felt so good about that. But yeah, I love that movie, and I love this genre as well, or subgenre, I should say. So when it works. So yeah.
Very true.
But you do makeup and you do special
No, I
effects.
don't do makeup. I co-ran Rick Baker's studio, and he has 7 Academy Awards for makeup effects. So I
When's
was
he?
with
When's
him.
he? When's he go transform you into a werewolf? I want to see that.
It's not gonna happen.
I want you to transform into a singing werewolf.
And okay, that should be a goal that I will put on my goal board that I do not have. I don't have a
I,
goal board.
if
Oh,
I
and
ever
that is
talk
not,
if I ever talk to him, and I might have a leeway into that.
I know him, and he's much too busy to be wanting to turn me into a werewolf.
trust me, if he hears this, he'll be like, "Ah, oh, I'm gonna scrap everything and concentrate on that."
I never, you never want to say no, but who knows?
Uh,
I'm saying other things will probably happen before that happens.
you could be Heidi the singing werewolf. There's the title of the
Oh,
movie.
that is a scary movie.
That
That
will
is
be
a
a.
movie will have no box office, but
Oh yeah,
the poster will be great.
poster will be great. It could be like an American Werewolf in London. We could have E.J.
Yeah.
Daly play the Griffin Dunn role. She'll be the meatloaf.
Okay. I'll call her right after this and see if she's up for it.
She's got a sense of humor. I haven't interviewed her, but I know she's got a sense of humor. She'll go
She's
for
very
that.
funny. Um, but I think she's a little too busy as well to be playing the Griffin Dunn role. But I do
But
love that movie so much.
oh yeah, same here.
I just watched it again 2 weeks ago. So
You know, I still got to get somebody on here from that movie. I've gotten people from The Howling, but
yeah,
which came out the same year. But American Werewolf in London, it's been hard to track people.
yeah. Rick
But
Baker also did the effects for The Howling.
yeah, him and
Um,
Rob Bottin. Yeah.
one of my projects has to do with monster movies. I can't give the details, but I've been watching an awful lot of horror films over the last 3 months. So sometimes, so they have been invading my dreams because I'll go to sleep after watching 4 or 5 hours of them, and then they're literally in my dreams, and I'll have to wake myself
Let me
up to,
guess. You
yeah.
watched The Room, didn't you?
No, I did not. I did not. But I did watch an early Elizabeth Banks movie called Slither, which is
Mm-hmm.
really bizarre and creepy. But I watched it, Stephen King's It, and I
Yeah.
watched It too, and I watched each one. I watched It 3 times, and that seeped right into my nightmares. That is a perfect film. It is. I mean, I'm talking about the movie,
Yeah.
and the sequel. I didn't see the one from. Let's see, that was a 2017 film, and anyway, when it came out in 2017, and then the sequel came out 3 years later. I don't know. I'm having the dates wrong, but then there was one, of course, that came out in the, what was it, the late 80s or the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And man, the one that I watched, the 2017 version, is just kind of perfection of horror films.
Well,
Really, really scary. Really well done.
I can't wait to see Heidi the Singing Werewolf.
Yeah,
I
You know what? It'll be at your DVD
no, that's
online
gonna
store
be
near you.
no, it's gonna be the highest grossing film ever made. That's gotta gross Star Wars.
No, I am going to put that on my to-do list, and we
Guarantee
will
you,
see.
Rick Baker will probably he'll probably have Spielberg, Lucas, all those
Yeah,
big names will probably be vying for that one.
it's going to be what do they call it? I'm forgetting what they call it. It's a bidding war. It's a bidding war, is what it is.
And of course, Cameron will want to be in it because he's got to chase you around the car, and then you
Right.
transform into the werewolf and chase him around the car.
Interesting, interesting. Okay,
See?
you know what? I will get back to you about story meeting next week. But meanwhile, we got to wrap it up because I do have another story. I do have a story meeting call coming up. Is there anything else that we've left out besides, my fabulous werewolf movie?
Is there anything else you want to plug on here before?
Not yet, not yet.
No,
But coming soon.
coming
Definitely.
coming
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're doing well, and
Thank you. I am too. I'm glad
I
you're well.
know in California you guys are not doing so well with the pandemic. I hate to rub it in, but we are doing a little better with it here.
We're just waiting for the vaccinations. So that's just what we're doing. We're
What's your
waiting.
take on that? There's people that won't take it, and then there's people that will. Bobby Heckman, for example, I mentioned from Victim No More. He and his wife have taken it, and he said he hasn't grown in a separate head.
Think of how much more work you could get done if you did grow a second head. That would be
Yeah,
amazing. I could work 80 hours a day instead of, 15. Um, no, I definitely will take it. And I get the flu shot every year. So
same
I,
here.
I have no problem with vaccines. I would like to be as protected as possible. So
Yeah, you think we're going to get out of this?
I do. I do.
My mom doesn't think so, but
Well,
here's the thing. There's a lot of people that weren't able to be around their families because they're across the country or whatever over
I know.
Christmas. People can't do that again.
It will be different. I mean, when you say get out of it, yes, we'll be able to, you know, be vaccinated, and so hopefully that will give us a lot of protection against getting this particular virus. But no, I don't think things will go back the way they were. I'm not in a rush to go to any massive concert or massive group event.
I've been going to the movies since July.
Wow, you're the only one I know that has.
Well, they have it set up so you're spaced apart. And if I feel okay to go to the movies when the theater's open, our theaters is open, um, I haven't gotten I have not got COVID. I've been tested. I'm fine. But, I don't know. I'd like to hopefully this fall go to Horrorama again. But I don't want the separation thing, like
Well, I think that's going to go on for a long time.
you
I
see,
do.
like I heard like PJ Soul says, she likes to give hugs when she does the conventions.
Yeah, I'm
You
a hugger
know,
too.
yeah, like I remember Lynn Laurie, who I met, she was a definite hugger, and I like to do stuff like that when I'm in the photos with them, put my arm around them, whatever, because it's personable, when you're meeting. And if we're separated, it's just odd.
It is. I mean, it's difficult, and we'll only know as soon as when we know, as time keeps going on, and we'll figure it out as a society what we'll do and what we won't do. And nobody's going to do things the same. Nobody's going to agree. You're not going to get everybody to agree that okay, great, take down barriers, everything's fine. It's been a never have we experienced this type of life-changing moment that our society is going through. So we just have to take care of ourselves and everyone around us, and figure out what's next.
Well, it was so wonderful having you on today,
Thank
and
you.
I'm so glad that you're able to call Cameron Dye and get him to deliver your groceries and chase you
Yeah,
around the
he's
car.
he's so good. He left off a bell pepper, but I deducted it from his tip, so we're good. Next time, next time.
But I don't know when this is going to come out, but
Well, let me know.
when it does, I'll certainly let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but your first interview's doing well, so
Good.
yeah,
Excellent. And I'll just work on my singing a little bit in between everything else. And
yeah, work on your singing. And again, I know Rick Baker will be down for
oh,
Heidi the
so
Singing Werewolf.
excited. Oh my God, you know him. Wow. He will be. he will,
I need to get in touch with Chris Nelson because he knows him. I bet you.
I know Chris. I know
Well,
all his folks.
I've had
Yeah.
Sean Clark on the show back in January, and he does
Okay.
a podcast with Chris Nelson, and I should bring this
Yeah,
up.
Chris used to work on our Cinovation team. He was one of our designers in our shop. So yeah, very
I
talented guy.
I got to tell him about this because I guarantee you he'll want in on Heidi the Singing Werewolf.
Oh, and who wouldn't really?
Although Sean Clark's got some explaining to do. He did not remember Chris Nelson in Kill Bill Volume 2, and I did.
And Michael Bowen was in Kill Bill.
Yeah, I know. We know what his role was. He ended up with
Yeah,
a splitting headache.
I know. Well, Michael, that just happens sometimes.
Have you had to do that to him yet?
Nope, nope, we're good friends.
Just
I never throw daggers through him.
Well, Heidi, thank you so much for coming on here today
Thank you for
and
having me.
Oh yeah, it's been fun, and I hope you're safe and I hope you're well. And
And I hope the same to you and your family.
well, mother and father not so well, but they're
Yeah.
trekking.
Good. Okay.
My brother takes care of them, and but me, nothing's really changed because I work nights, so I pretty much it's just an inconvenience getting this podcast up and going again, which I have. Now
Yeah,
I just
that's
need to
good.
now I just need to be able to travel again. That's the
Well,
next thing.
we'll get there when we get there. It's just one baby step at a time here.
Well, thank goodness you got a new president that hopefully will.
Yeah, I am happy about that as well. So
Everybody that I know of is happy about that.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Not that I want to get political, but
No,
oh my
never.
goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you. It's a work day, so even though it's Sunday, it's a work day. So
You want to do a plug for my show before you close off?
sure, tell me what to say.
Just state who you are from Valley Girl
Mm-hmm.
and say you might want to write this down, but just say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
I can do that without writing it down. All right.
You can sing it
Hey,
too.
no. Hey there, everybody. This is Heidi Holicker, also known as Stacy from Valley Girl and the girl from Twisted Sisters, leader of the pack. You are listening to Greg Gilbert's show on Python Paradise, and you rock.
Absolutely. Jeepers, Metcalf was also in the Twisted Sister videos. They should have had
Yes,
you
he
both.
was.
I had him on the show. He talked about that, playing the Animal House role.
I love those guys. They're still good friends.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. And folks, stay tuned for Heidi the Singing Werewolf by Rick Baker. We're going to make that happen.
Sure. Sounds awesome.
We love you, Heidi.
Love you right back.
Bye-bye. You have a
Okay.
terrific day.
Thank you. You too. Good talking to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.